And a pleasant good evening to you, everybody. Welcome to Brophy Sports Complex in downtown Phoenix for exciting Arizona Lacrosse League action here on apmvideo.com as the 5th-ranked Higley Knights take on the number 1 ranked and undefeated Brophy Broncos. I'm Jeff Lowry with apmvideo.com. So glad you could be here on a warm night, but it's going to start cooling off by the time we kick things off here. Higley coming off an outstanding year, 10-3 by way of record. Going into this game, Don Ross, their first-year head coach, he's done a sensational job. These two teams met early in April. It was a one-sided win for Brophy, who is having one of their best seasons in team history. They are undefeated at 13-0, coming off an 11-7 win over Mountain Ridge in the quarterfinals. And they are trying, if they can get a win here tonight and get into the finals, it would be the 12th time in school history. Back with the play-by-play in just a moment. Welcome back to the Brophy Sports Complex. We're getting set for the state semifinal game between 10-3, the 5th-ranked Higley Knights, the number 1 ranked Brophy Broncos. The team captains, Xander Welty, number 4, number 3, Andrew Court, the defenseman, and Drew Scheiman for Brophy. They'll be in the white tops, red shorts. And that dark blue Knights of Higley featuring Tyler Bates, number 3, Cam Resch, Nicholas Martin, and Lincoln Coleman. So the two teams are set to go. They come out onto the field led by possibly the two best face-off men in the state of Arizona. Number 6, Chance Crafton. He won 201 in 13 games. And, of course, the main face-off man in 2019, Cam Resch. And I referenced 2019 because that was the last full season of the Arizona Lacrosse League. So we're ready to go in this semifinal game. And the Broncos with Xander Welty, the premier midfielder for this Broncos team, undefeated coming in at 14-0, and we are underway from downtown Phoenix. Broncos featuring a wide variety and a very diverse offense. Cam Boyer, one of their top scorers this year, who had 38 points. Caleb Greenfield with 56. Drew Scheiman, 39 points. The rookie Eric Volston, as the first shot is wide for the Brophy Broncos. Volston had 22. Laird Miller with 13. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Cole Rasses. He led all the state of Arizona with 74. As they try to work that into Jackson Schaub, and now you got a 50-50 ball, and it's going to be picked up by Cole, and he's going to bounce it in for this state semifinal game's first point. So Cole Rasses with his 75th point on the strength of 47 goals this year, and Brophy draws first blood within the first minute of play and lead it 1-0. Brophy 13-0, I think I said 14-0, 13-0. Ground ball picked up here by the Higley Knights. Nicholas Martin. And we got a flag down on the play as Mac Brunk will try to clear it. The ball comes loose. Cam Resch is going to go over and pick this one up. And now Lincoln Coleman trying to pick up the hot potato as Higley, who comes out in the all dark blue uniforms, trailing 1-0. They work at the X. And here's Jeffrey Cole Gavin Wolf, their leading scorer, who just edged out his teammate, and he goes in with a shovel pass-like shot, and he rattles the back of the cage. Wolf scores with 10:18 left to go here in the first, and the Higley Knights have tied things up at 1 apiece. So our third face-off coming up. Both teams have won one.
There should be a delay. Delay of game. Delay of game.
I tell you guys to relax.
Until it gets called on you, then keep your mouth shut.
Well, the fans are getting along already. That's another win for Cam Resch, and he's going to take it right down the pipe. He shoots, he leaves it wide. A little wide right that time, backed up by Grady Stokes.
Get it!
1-1 tie here in the first state semifinal. The winner of this game will take on the winner of tonight's other game in the Arizona Lacrosse League, Desert Vista and Boulder Creek. That flag is down. So the Higley Knights hoping to pull off an upset, though they got beat here back in early April, and they're going to wave off the Jeffrey Cole goal. That would have been his 40th of the year. He had an outstanding season. And we're going to get a cross-check against Brophy. So Higley will retain possession, and they'll be a man up for 1 minute. You look at the defense of the Brophy Broncos, led by Hudson Fable. Fable, a senior out there. Here's the shot, and that one off of Andrew Ruderman. Our two goalies here today. Andrew Ruderman, the junior, in his first year at playing goalie for the Brophy Broncos. And over on the Higley side, Connor Davidson, the young man who had to fill in relief for Cade Skiles, who was the senior leader on this team and was involved in an accident and out for the season. Here's a shot, here's a score, and Gavin Wolf has scored his second of the game, and Higley, with 8:43 left to go here in quarter number one, has taken a 2-1 lead over the Brophy Broncos here in quarter number one. So for Gavin, his 37th goal, he's got 55 points. Another face-off win here for the Higley Knights, and they've won 3 of 4. That doesn't happen to Brophy very often. Drew Gins, the ball carrier, who had 13 ground balls and 6 points this year. Now Higley, led by the senior Seth Gummel, and a knockaway there. Some good defense there. And a turnover, and it's the freshman Charlie McGinnis. And Charlie will clear it for the Brophy Broncos inside the Brophy offensive half, and he's looking for an outlet. Let's see if Pat Harbison, in his first year as head coach, will get a timeout. And that's going to be what should be a failure to advance. Or did they get the timeout? They got the timeout. So timeout, Brophy Broncos. That's their first. With the score, the Higley Knights 2 and the Brophy Broncos 1. Brophy led by Pat Harbison. He played his college ball at UVA, and he is also a current player in the Premier Lax League as a defensive midfielder. When play resumes, Andrew Welty will restart it, and he'll be guarded by Zach Warner. He gets the start here today on defense, along with Brunk and Martin. We mentioned the goalie, Connor Davidson. But Pat Harbison did a great job in his first year. We got 2 first-year head coaches, Higley led by Don Ross. And the team goes 10-3, not bad in his first year. Frankie Armenta, the longtime coach of this program, going back to the Gilbert Tiger days, and the days they won the state championship in 2016. And Brophy comes right back with Cam Boyer. And Boyer has found the promised land, and we're tied at 2. Our second tie here in this first quarter. First point for Boyer. Assis and Boyer have the 2 goals for Brophy. And Gavin Wolf, the leading scorer for the Higley Knights here in 2021, has 2. And all unassisted. Face-off win for Brophy, and they kind of needed that. And taking it right down the pipe and scoring is going to be Ethan Swenson. And Swenson had an outstanding year, the sophomore midfielder. Swenson picks up the ground ball and takes it in, so Brophy regains a lead 3-2. They led 1-0 and now 3-2. And Cam Resch, rising to the occasion, picks up the ground ball, and Higley gets the face-off win, but tenacious Brophy defense thwarting that, and they get the ground ball. And here they come with Andrew Court. Andrew. And it's intercepted by the young Connor Davidson, who I thought played an outstanding game. Of course, when you come out of that crease, you're just like anybody else. And he quickly gets it over to his teammate and Zach Werner. Up to Seth Gummel. Gummel with 30 ground balls this year, 30 points. And a guy that does it all, and now you're going to get a push from behind. That's going to be with possession. That was Josh Peterson who gets knocked down, and this is going to be a 30-second push, putting Higley in a man-down situation. The Brophy defense, led by the senior Andrew Court and the freshman Noah Burdick and Charlie McGinnis. We're in a 3-2 Brophy lead here as Xander Welty, the senior, who had just a tremendous year, 25 ground balls and 52 points.
Let's go defense!
And now Brophy man up. Coming around the edge, Caleb Greenfield, and he finds his teammate on the other side. That was a thing of beauty. And I couldn't quite tell who scored that one for Brophy, but it comes halfway through quarter number one. And the Broncos enjoying their largest lead of the game at 4-2. Well, give Greenfield the assist, and we'll go back and look at that when we get the next time out. Laird Miller scored it. Solid defense. Good check there by Breck Mullins, number 32 for the Higley Knights. And this is a big defensive play here for the Higley Knights. They need to make a stop. They have given up 3 unanswered goals after leading 2-1. That last goal was a man-up goal for the Broncos. Now Cam Boyer, who scored the second goal of the day for the Broncos. They've gotten scores from Boyer, Swenson, Rassus. And that is Greenfield, and that is Boyer. 5-2 Brophy Broncos. So Greenfield with his second assist. Second goal of the day for Mr. Cam Boyer, and Brophy has scored 4 straight to take their largest lead of the game at 5-2. So once again, to make it 4-2, that was Laird Miller from Greenfield. Another face-off win. So Brophy has won those face-offs the last couple. They've reeled off 4 straight goals and lead it by 3. First quarter action. And now they'll work it over to Max Dickens. One of the seniors on this Brophy team. And now Drew Scheiman, one of the top scorers in the state this year, tried to get that one into 16, Jackson Schaub. But Schaub was able to battle enough to keep that one alive. Over to Josh Peterson. Junior attackman. They're hoping for big things out of him next year. He had 9 goals this year, 7 ground balls. Now over to Max Dickens. Brophy leads at 5-2 here in the first. Right now, Brophy just trying to lure this Higley defense in a false sense of security. Working it around, both teams even. And here's the cutter. And I'll tell you what, and I've called him this before, as Greenfield picks up his 3rd straight Dickens scores, and it's 6-2 with 3:54 left to go here in the first. That's 5 unanswered goals. Greenfield, and I haven't seen 3 straight scores coming off an assist by the same player. Brophy has won 4 straight face-offs. But getting back to Caleb Greenfield, I mean, he truly can be like a point guard in basketball, if that makes any sense at all. Playing for Pat Harbison in his first year as head coach. They are 13-0 into this semifinal game. Pat is assisted by Parker Dickerson, Danny Davis, Matt McEnvey, and Tanner Ottenbright. High shot, good challenge on the check by Lincoln Coleman, and that one went flying out of play, but backed up nicely by the senior Drew Scheiman. Brophy leads it 6-2. We're in the first. Scheiman will restart and try to get a screen from Boyer, and now backs off, and he will aggressively go towards the goal line extended area, now back up top. Boyer has scored 2. Greenfield has the most points in the game. He has 3 assists for 3 points. Gavin Wolf has accounted for both. Higley scores here as they trail the Brophy Broncos 6-2 here on APN in our game of the week. And Welty finds Drew Scheiman. And that was pretty easy for the Brophy Broncos, and it's 7-2. So Welty with his first point of the day, an assist to Drew Scheiman, who picks up his first goal and first point. And Brophy has scored 6 straight. And it's all predicated by winning face-off. Higley won 4 of the first 5 and took a 2-1 lead. And now Brophy has won 5 in a row, and they are on a 6-0 run. It is so important. Possession is everything, but it's so important to have success in face-off X. Because if you don't have it and you're not a dominant team, it just puts you behind the 8 ball each and every time. Cole Rassis, ball handler right here. Thought he would pull the trigger, instead finds a wide open Max Dickens, his second goal. Rassis. Dickens' second goal. That is the second point for Cole Rassis. It's 8-2. Timeout on the field. Higley Knights. 7 in a row for the Brophy Broncos. So Cole Rassis now with 1 goal, 1 assist. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left to play here in quarter number 1. And if Higley wants to stay in this ball game, they need a score here quickly. They have not scored in over 8 minutes, and Brophy is just now flexing their muscles, and they have taken an 8-2 lead. So Ethan Swenson nearly throwing that one away, harassing defense, and it's going to be Higley's possession. They came in with a record of 10-3. Don Ross, first year, outstanding job. Adam Wirtz, Nate Snyder, Coach Skiles, Coach Spencer. The brain trust of the Higley Knights. And we're going to get a little push here by the freshman Volson. Playing a little D-mid here. Now Greenfield going to work. We had a great season with 56 points coming in and already 3 assists in this game. In fact, since Greenfield hasn't scored tonight, has 3 assists, he has on the season 30 goals for number 12 of Brophy. 30 goals, 29 assists. Like I said, he's kind of a point guard. Of course, Cole Rassis had 28 assists coming in. So they're actually, those two are now tied for the club lead and are in the tops in the state. Cole takes the shot. Might have been challenged there by Tyler Bates. Backed up nicely by the Broncos as we Coming down to the end of the first quarter of play, Rassus got an open man on the near side and now finally finds Greenfield, spins, shoots, and he's going to be turned away. Connor Davidson, the Higley goalie. Here in the first quarter, it's 8-2 Brophy Broncos. And an errant pass, and that's a turnover. Brophy will quickly get it into their offensive half.
Short time, 20! Short time!
Scheiman.
Give it up, Patrick!
And now over to one of the big game hunters, Xander Welty, who pulls the trigger. That looked like it went in. It got a little pipe city, apparently. And at the buzzer, final shot of the first quarter, Eric Volson. Is no good, but at the end of one, it's the Broncos 8. It's the Higley Knights 2. This is the 2021 Arizona Lacrosse League state semifinals. All right, Cam Resch and Chance Crafton, and they're going to work. And the Wings of Fire, Brophy Broncos, get the face-off win. And all of a sudden, they've doubled up as Cole Rassus comes up with a ground ball. Cole shy. Oh, that's a big-timer. Big game hunter way out top, and that was Xander Welty finding the back of the cage. And Cole will be credited with his second assist of the day, and it's 9-2. It's all about possession, and after Brophy went down 2-1, they have reeled off 8 straight goals. Ground ball win for the Broncos. They'll quickly get it into the offensive half. They're attacking. They are scoring. Caleb Greenfield, his 31st goal of the year unassisted. And he leads all scorers with 4 points. And it's 10-2, and it's a 9-0 Brophy Bronco run as they continue to dominate. Cam Resch pushing away Chance Crafton. And this is going to go back to the Higley Knights. With the score, the Broncos 10 and the Knights 2. Second quarter action. It has been a while since Higley has had a possession. They had a great look there. Good ball rotation. Stokes finds Jeffrey Cole, and that breaks a 9-0 run. Stokes will pick up his first point of the day for Cole, and Higley breaks a 9-0 run to make it 10-3. A 9-0 Brophy Broncos run is in the books. And an excellent ground ball there by Mullins. McGinnis, the freshman, comes up with a nugget. Excellent play by the freshman defenseman, Charlie McGinnis. And they lead it up ahead. Good job by the Broncos to clear that one. And Scheiman almost taking a page out of Cole Rassus with that low shot as it turned away. Broncos were able to back it up. Greenfield, number 12. I don't know if you caught it, but when the score was 4-2 back at the halfway point in the first, we were a little in doubt who scored that goal for the Broncos. It was Laird Miller. Miller, the freshman attackman for the Broncos. And the Broncos counter the Higley score as Boyer picks up his third of the day. He has a hat trick, and it's back up to an 8-point lead. Tied for the largest lead. So the Broncos now lead it by a score of 11-3. Boyer with the hat trick, his third goal of the contest, and he leads all players on the field in goals. Caleb Greenfield leads all players in points with 4. He's got 1 goal, 3 assists. And Brophy has doubled up the face-off wins, and that will tell you part of the story. as the Broncos lead it here by a score of 11-3, enjoying their largest lead. They have led by 8 on 2 occasions, 10-2 in the current 11-3. Second quarter action. Going to work now is Miller, who scored in that first quarter. They work it around. Scheinman hands clear. And that's that sidearm shot that so many times when I'm doing U of A games with Mickey Miles, he just doesn't. He always tells me he doesn't like those sidearm shots in most cases. Because what happened to Drew there happens to a lot of players. That ball will kind of have a little lift off, and next thing you know, it's behind the end line. Of course, I don't know how much of that is true, because I think sometimes you got to change the eye level of that goalie, but right there, you might like to see Drew maybe take another step in, and that's all the lacrosse analysis you'll ever get from me. Well, they're going to give this ball to Higley, who trail at 11-3 here. Jay Skiles, 7 points this year. And here's the Brophy ride. Let's see if they can force a turnover. Scheinman pries it loose. Skiles picks it back up. Good job. He'll get it back to his goalie. And now the long clear, if they can execute, and they do not. And it's intercepted. Is this Noah, who picks it up out of the defensive half? Actually, that's Fable, Hudson Fable, the senior defenseman. And now Brophy throws it away, and it'll be an easy turnover for the Higley Knights. Zach Werner, one of their true team leaders. Werner, only a sophomore this year. Actually, that is not Werner, that's Elliott, who brought it all the way down, and we get a stop and play here. Well, they bring it down the other end. I thought I heard a whistle, and a nice ground ball that time, picked up by number 1, that's Sovereign, who's still not on the roster. And McGinnis will pick up the ball carrier on the far sideline, as the Brophy Broncos here in the second quarter lead it by a score of 11-3. We're in the state semifinals, Arizona Boys Lacrosse League. This is high school boys, and a tremendous defensive play by freshman Noah Burdick. Now Brophy, they want to score. Quick shot, Scheinman again. Leaves it wide left. Well, you got so many snipers, big game hunters on this Brophy team. They had 9 different players, Brophy did, scoring in double digits. And 6 of them scored 20 or more. So they know how to spread the wealth. And that's one of the things I think Pat Harbison's team's got a tremendous advantage on each and every team in this league, is that their depth is just, comparably speaking, the depth of this Brophy Broncos team virtually at every position. Defense, midfield defense, attack, a little superior than the rest of the teams in this league. And all you have to do is, when you print out their rosters, when you prepare for these games, and Brophy's goes on 2 sheets and everybody else's fits on 1 easily. Now, I think that's going to change next year a little bit, because, you know, we were still battling this COVID stuff. And I think, you know, I'm wondering if some families just were not comfortable letting their child come out and play lacrosse. And that probably was the story with a lot of programs in a lot of different sports, as Brophy will try to get it into their offensive half, leading at 11-3 here in the second quarter. I think enrollment next year is going to be up. I think teams are going to have fuller rosters. And hopefully we can start the season a little bit sooner than we did this year. You got all those games in a very short amount of time, 8 weeks. From March 1st to now, high shot score. Xander Welty rattles the back of the cage with a blistering shot. Welty's second goal, he's got 3 points on the day, and it's 12-3, and the Broncos enjoy their biggest lead of the game. Cam Resch continues to battle in face-off X. Takeaway time, and Noah Burdick. Well, this freshman's got a bright future, doesn't he? Good defense applied by Mac Brunk. On the Higley side, whistle and interference. Illegal procedure, against Higley, and Brophy with a chance to add on to their biggest lead of 9. Well, they won decisively in their game earlier in April when Higley came in here. It was our game of the week. Higley, an outstanding season, no matter what happens, is Cole Rassus looking to facilitate. He was looking for a cutter. And now Brophy, high shot that time by the freshman Miller, who had 14 goals this year, no assists, and has 8 ground balls. Cole Rassus will restart it after the Brophy missed shot. He'll bring it up out of X. He'll take it over to a cutter. And a great save by Connor Davidson of the Higley Knights. They'll give it back to Brophy. Brophy to slow it down, eat up some of the clock. Boy, what a crowd we have on hand. I mean, a tremendous job and a great left by Laird Miller. I'll tell you what, this young man's going to be, I think, an outstanding offensive force for Brophy. And with 4:11, we'll have a continuous clock with a 10-point lead, and the Broncos enjoy a 10-goal lead, their biggest of the game. For Miller, his second of the day. Another face-off win, and Brophy has pretty much doubled that up. Well, after the infraction, it will be Higley ball, and they want a timeout. That is their second and final timeout here for the Knights. Inside of 4 minutes left to go here. It is a 10-point Brophy Bronco lead. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League state semifinals on APN Sports. And a takeaway by Andrew Court, who has had a tremendous career with the Brophy Broncos, a senior defenseman. And Josh Minton showing off his wheels, gets it down into the pipe, and the Broncos have done it again. It's Greenfield. Greenfield from Josh Minton, and it's an 11-point lead. Greenfield's 5th point, 2nd goal. And Minton, I believe that is his first point of the day on his first assist. Now Noah Burdick over to Cole Rassus, and the worm killer shot. Cole Rassus, 15-3, is moments away, 2 minutes I should say, from halftime, running clock. And Burdick will get the assist. Cole Rassus with just his second goal of the game. Burdick picks up his first point. 12-7 advantage now for Brophy, face-off X. 15-3, a 12-point lead. That is the largest lead of the game for the Brophy Broncos. And a quick timeout. So both teams have used their 2 allotted timeouts. And this is the state semifinals of the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN. Well, a big first half for Caleb Greenfield. He's scored 2 goals. He has 3 assists. Has 5. Boyer with 3 goals. Cole Rassus with 2. Miller with 2. And for Higley, Wolf leads the team with 2 goals. Cole and Stoke have 1 point each for the Higley Knights. Brophy trailed going all the way back to the 10-18 mark in the first quarter as Welty comes up with an impressive hard-fought ground ball for the Broncos. It was 2-1 at that point. Brophy has scored 14 of the last 15 points. And a big reason why they have pretty much dominated at face-off X. So Cam Resch is doing all he can. And many of your great face-off guys will tell you, we win face-offs, that's because our wings are getting the job done. As we're winding down the first half of this state semifinal game, Brophy 15 and the Higley Knights 3. Brophy has scored 14 of the last 15. They had a 9-0 run. And Scheinman is going to be turned away. And I'll tell you, I think Connor Davidson, I think he is going to end up being an outstanding goalie in this league. I mean, he is, every time I've seen him, he makes spectacular saves left and right.
3, 2.
And that's going to be the end of the first half. The Brophy Broncos have bolted out to a 15-3 lead. Bring out the band, it's halftime. We'll be back with the second half of the state semifinals in just a moment. All right, back here at Brophy Sports Complex. Well, it was a very impressive showing by the Brophy Broncos in that first half. And as we go to the third quarter, Cam Resch getting a big face-off win. They need to set the tone, and, you want a good effort here in the second half. This is the senior Seth Gummel, and we are underway here in the third quarter. A running clock, a 12-point lead, the biggest lead of the game. As Louis Narducci, number 11, has checked into Pat Harbison's starting lineup here to start the third quarter. 15-3 Brophy Broncos in the start of the third. And a nice defensive play. Charlie McGinnis getting over there and thwarting the Jeffrey Cole shot. Caleb Greenfield led all scorers with 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. Boyer with 3 goals for Brophy. Rassus a couple of goals and an assist. The freshman Laird Miller with 2 goals in that first half. The leading scorer for Higley was Wolf with 2. And Jeffrey Cole picked up the other goal for them as they trail it 15-3 in the state semifinals. The winner of this game will be taking on Boulder Creek, who just defeated the Desert Vista Thunder by a final score of 13-5. That was an impressive showing, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a different game. I mean, I think we can almost assume that Brophy's going to win this game. I think that state championship game is going to be a much different game than what we saw March 11th when Brophy and Boulder Creek played up at Boulder Creek High School. And the first shot goal, Brophy Broncos, Xander Welty, who picks up the hat trick. That's his third, and with 9:59 left to go here, 16-3. So the Broncos continue their dominance. They have scored 15 of the last 16 points scored in this contest. They battle for this one with Ryan Wentworth, number 10, on the Brophy side, but the ball's going to be picked up by Jay Skiles, and Higley will retain the possession. And actually, now Brophy's Ryan Wentworth comes up with it. Wentworth. Not sure if he's a junior or a senior. There's a misprint on the roster as that one's tracked down by Hudson Fable. And now the restart will go to Josh Minton, who has an assist to his credit here tonight, as the Broncos lead 16-3 here, running clock, third quarter action. Stay with us. At the conclusion of this game, we will have post-game interviews with the winning team. Caleb Greenfield looks like he wants to restart things for the Broncos. They give it up to Drew Scheinman. Not sure what the delay is here. An official's timeout on the field. And now Brophy will restart it. Well, the delay, there was actually a flag down on the play, so Higley is playing a man down here as they trail it 16-3. And the Brophy Broncos not letting up. And here's Scheinman. And that one's a little high. Scheinman with one goal here tonight. Welty with 3 goals. And I have him down for 1 assist, so that's 4 points here. 4 points for Xander Welty, Xander. Probably one of the coolest names you will ever hear, Xander Welty, 4 points. And Caleb Greenfield, the ball carrier here, he has 5 points. A little question mark dodge, and he gets it in, and we're going to get a flag, and this will be a push with possession against Drew Scheinman, and Seth Gummel will sit out for 30 seconds on the technical foul here in the third quarter, with the Broncos leading it 16-3 in this state semifinal battle between the Higley Knights in the dark uniforms and the white top, red shorts of the Brophy Broncos. Broncos coming off a quarterfinals victory, a game in which they were tied going into the final fourth period of play, or the final period of play. They were tied at 7 with Mountain Ridge, who probably, well, I'd say had the game of the year. They felt like they had a chance, and Brophy strikes again. And that is Boyer's 4th. I think Cole Rass has got the assist. That is his 3rd assist. Cole has 2 points. Actually, 2 goals, 3 assists now. Boyer with 4. And it's 17-3 in favor of the Brophy Broncos in this state semifinal game. Well, the one thing you can't take away from this Higley team is, the effort has been there this entire game, even though, they led at 1.2-1. That was all the way back at the 10-minute mark in the first. Here's Brophy trying to add on, and Greenfield is going to be turned away by Connor Davidson. That was at point-blank range. Good job. But, look at this Brophy team. They're up 17-3 and just not letting up at all. And look at Caleb Greenfield. He's given Mac Brunk all that he could handle, and somehow Mac was able to get that up to Seth Gummel. And now quickly in the offensive half, and Gummel finds Grady Stokes. That was an impressive play, and give some credit to Brunk, who was able to hang in there, and it's now 17-4. Stokes with his first goal, 2nd point. And Gummel with the assist. That's his first assist and point of the game. 17-4 Brophy. That ends a 5-0 run by the Brophy Broncos. They've had runs of 9-0 and 5-0. Good win there. A couple face-off wins here in the second half. We're inside of 4 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. The winner of this game will take on the Boulder Creek Jaguars. And that'll be this Friday night at Arcadia High School. We'll have all the exciting play-by-play action of that one. That game is to start at 8 o'clock, and Higley has done it again, and that was Cole getting the assist from Tyler Bates. Cole picks up his second goal of the day, and Bates picks up his first assist, and it's now 17-5. So Higley, you can see when you got good ball rotation and you got guys moving without the ball towards the crease, obviously good things can happen. Excellent ground ball. Brophy still a distinct advantage in face-off X, and it comes all the way down, and Ethan Swenson has found the promised land as he is tripped as he shoots. That'll be an unassisted goal for Swenson, and with 2:36 left to play here in quarter number 3, it is 18-5 Brophy. So the Broncos continue to pour it on here from Brophy Sports Complex on the campus of Xavier Prep, College Prep. Another face-off win, almost another one. A nice job by Connor Davidson, who I think is going to end up being an awfully good goalie in this league for years to come. He's going to have 2 more years of eligibility, I do believe. Now, Cam Boyer with 4 goals here tonight. He's the ball carrier for the Brophy Broncos, led by their first-year head coach, Pat Harbison. Coach Parker, Coach Danny, Coach Matt, Coach Tanner, the brain trust of this Brophy team. That one is going to be a save. How about that? I thought maybe that crossed the goal line, and it didn't. And Connor Davidson, he didn't panic. He did not panic. And they were able to corral it as we are coming up to the end of this third quarter, and here is a steal. And Brophy, Andrew Court pulls the trigger. I think he's been waiting a few games to do that. Long lead pass up to Cole, and Brophy will battle. We're going to get a trip. We're going to get no call or whistle. They're letting them play. Hudson Fable. Good ground ball quickly in the offensive half. Here's the shot turned away by Connor Davidson of Higley. Brophy backed it up. Boyer going straight in, and he was hit hard from behind by Lincoln Coleman. Here's Rassus taking a hard left-handed shot with just seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Caleb Greenfield to restart it for the Broncos. And an open net, Shyman from Greenfield. Greenfield's 4th. 19-5 Brophy Broncos, and that will be the end of the third period. We head to the fourth. Broncos by 14, their biggest lead of the game. So a 19-5 deficit for the Higley Knights. They win the face-off to start quarter number 4. It has been just some really tough Bronco defense. Connor Rassus, number 14, is checked into the lineup here for the Broncos. And Gavin Wolf, who gave Higley an early 2-1 lead, had back-to-back goals at the 10:18 mark and the 8:43 mark. But since then, it has been all Broncos. In fact, they reeled off 16 of 17 at one point. 16 of 17 run from the middle of the, about midway through the first period, and then when they scored about 4 minutes into the third period, Rassus to Boyer, that made it 17-3 And that was a 16-1 run by the Brophy Broncos. They've gotten the job done defensively. Face-offs are about 15-10, unofficial count here in favor of the Broncos. But the key here has been the Broncos' ability to hold possession and stingy Broncos defense, led by Charlie McGinnis, Andrew Court, Hudson Fable. And here's a diving shot and the score. And this one belongs to Gavin Wolf. So Wolf has a hat trick, his first goal since the 8:43 mark back in the first quarter. And so the Higley Knights have cut the deficit to 13 at 19-6. So both times these two teams have met, Brophy has won decisively, unless Higley can mount some kind of a comeback and make it respectable. Don Ross has done a great job in his first year, and I think he kind of came in somewhat the last minute. This is a pickup, a ground ball. John Brewer, good job. He gets it over to Kerhove as Max is in there for the first time in goal in relief of Andrew Ruderman, who did an excellent job in goal here for the Brophy Broncos. Flag is down on the play. Fourth quarter action. Getting a look at Josh Minton, who put 4 points up on the board this year. Peterson. The Broncos came in averaging 16.7 points a game, yet only giving up 3.9. That is a differential of 12.8. Now, the best in league history, you go back to that 2014 Desert Vista team, and if Brophy holds on and wins here and can win state this Friday, they have a chance to be, I think, ranked right up there with that 2014 Desert Vista team that went 17-0 and had a 14-goal differential per game. But, I mean, Brophy would have to win probably like 20-0 against Boulder Creek in the finals this Friday to probably even tie or surpass that DV team. But I think you got to look at this team. If they win state, I think they got to go down as one of the great teams in league history. I don't think there's any doubt about it. They have just played dominant lacrosse this year. With the exception, maybe, the Desert Vista game. That was an 11-8 victory, and they beat Mountain Ridge 11-7. So they did have a couple of games where it was not a blowout, but I think you've got to consider this team at least potentially one of the best in Brophy history. And they got some big game hunters still coming back next year. Shot taken, nice save by Connor Davidson. Well, you got Cole Rassus and you got Caleb Greenfield both coming back. Boyer is coming back for a senior year. All three of those guys are juniors. And then you've got the underclassmen. Yeah, you lose Hudson Fable, you lose Andrew Court, you do lose Xander Welty, but you got Charlie McGinnis and Noah Burdick, who have been sensational on defense. Max Dickens, he'll be back for the senior year. Jackson Schaub. I mean, Brophy, I think going into next year, probably going to be favored to win it again next year. So we got a timeout. Brophy will take a quick timeout. You're watching the 2021 Arizona Lacrosse League state semifinals. The winner of this game will be taking on the 13-1 Boulder Creek Jaguars from Arcadia High School this Friday night. So glad you could join us here. Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. About 6 minutes left to go in this one and a running clock. Broncos went on a 9-0 run from about halfway through that first period going into the second. Greenfield with 6 points here today, 2 goals and 4 assists. He now has 30 assists on the season. Max Armitage, I'm not sure what his numbers were tonight, but he is number 1 in the state in assists with 34. Ethan Tanucci, this is updated statistics I was just handed. And you got 30, which is second in Greenfield, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to have to check those stats. I don't know. Caleb may not have that many. But he's up there. I mean, he's probably top 5. I mean, if you count what he's done here tonight. Flag is down. Late stages of this state semifinal. Well, the Higley Knights will finish 11-4 this season. Pretty good season for Don Ross, Adam Wirtz, Nate Snyder, Coach Skiles, Coach Spencer. We got a flag here. See what Cole Day's going to call. And we're going to get a push with possession 30 seconds. As we're winding down, stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We'll have post-game interviews. All right, we're back to live action here. Brophy got some new personnel in there. Laird Miller, who has scored 2 in this game, the freshman attackman. Number 30, Eric Volson, a couple of freshmen who combined, as they lose it, they combined for 37 points. Volson and Laird Miller, the 2 freshmen. Both attackmen. Brophy just holding the ball now. Stratton Buck, number 1 in there. He had 8 points. Senior midfielder. You can get some playing time here. 30 is Eric Volson, who had an outstanding year, 22 points. And Buck takes the shot and leaves it a little bit high for the Brophy faithful. And backing up the shot was the Higley Knights. We're down to about the last 2.5 minutes. Let's see if the Higley Knights can put another point up there on the board, or are we going to get a timeout? I think we're going to get a timeout here. It'll be a Higley timeout as they trail at 19-6. As we're back to the action here from Brophy Sports Complex in the state semifinal game. Jeff Lowry, APM Video Sports. Lincoln Coleman. And a good clear, and the flag is down. That was Seth Gummel, the senior, and here's the takeaway. No, we're going to get a stop and play. There is a yellow hanky on the field, and we're going to get a slash against Brophy. So Higley will be a man up here for the next minute. This time right now, just eating up the clock. Okay. So the restart belongs to the Knights. There'll be a man up. Lucas Shar, who had 23 points this year. He'll take the shot and didn't have a lot on that. That was challenged by Connor Rassis, the younger brother of the leading scorer in the state, Cole Rassis. Connor, a freshman. This Brophy team, I think they're looking good for next year and probably years to come. That shot taken, And the save by Maxwell. And the crowd responds to Mateo Morris. Mateo won an award for the Brophy Broncos, kind of a citizenship award granted by the league. And we are winding down. The clock is running out. Inside of 5. And that's it. The contest is over. The Brophy Broncos are heading to their 12th ever state championship with a 19-6 win over the Higley Knights. Brophy will go into the championship game 14-0. Congratulations to Pat Harbison. Congratulations to Higley coach Don Ross. They finish 10-4. Stay with us for post-game interviews on the Arizona Play-by-Play Network.
Just introduce yourselves. What position is that?
I'm Eric Wolfson, attackman.
Charlie McGinnis, defense.
Josh Peterson, midfielder.
The next game, state, right?
Yes.
What was your guys' expectations, like personally and as a team, going into the season?
I think from the beginning we knew we had a pretty special group of guys, and ever since our first couple games, it's always been number one or bust. So.
For me, and I think as a team, it was just win state. I think we had a good chance, and that's what we wanted. So luckily, we're here, and hopefully we win tomorrow or Friday.
I mean, we haven't been in state for 2 years, and we lost in the final. So it's nice to be back and do it for the. We're doing it for the seniors.
Can't be stopped. He's a freshman. Hey, we got QB1 in the middle, too.
We're going to win
380. Give the microphone to Throw God. Knuckles. Throw God. Not one, but 2 knuckles. Am I right?
When's the game?
Friday.
How do you guys, I mean, I don't know much about the other team. Obviously, like, how do you guys feel going into Friday's game?
I think we're feeling good. I mean, it's a 19-6 win in the semis. We're just gonna keep rolling, have 2 days of hard practice, and we're going for state. We're gonna win it.
We beat them before early in the year, and we've gotten better. We know they've gotten better, but we're ready to beat them again.
Yeah, I think we learned in the quarterfinals never underestimate a team, and I think Boulder Creek's going to be a different team than what we saw at the start of the year. Everyone gets better, so it's about going out and leaving no doubt.
What do you guys contribute? Like, what's the factor that got you guys in this position, you think, throughout the season?
I think everyone's had a chip on their shoulder the whole season. My freshman year, the varsity team lost in the state championship. Year after, varsity team was one of the best in the state and had a good shot at state, and it got taken away from them. So seeing it as 2 years that we should have had, and everyone had a vengeance.
What was the question again?
Biggest factors
for getting us here.
I would say a lot of hard work. You know, we've put in the work. We're going to continue to put in the work, and,
I think it's the talent, and then, I mean, we have an incredible coaching staff here in Arizona. I mean, if you look at it, we're running, like, new plays almost week by week. Teams, I mean, sure, they can scout us 1 week, but we're always adding new plays, always adding new looks. And, I mean, we have, like, some of the best players in the state. Xander Welty, Cole Rassis, all our attackmen, defense, midi, we've all stepped up our game.
All right, last one. Let's get a little score predictions for Friday.
A little score predictions. I think it might be maybe a little tight at first, but I think we're going to start rolling. I think once we start rolling, they're not going to stop us. I say we win, get a little, maybe like a 12-4.
I like the 12-4 part. I think we'll get more than 12, though. I play defense, and we're going to try to hold them under 6 and let the offense do the job.
Like we said before, can't underestimate our opponent, but I think 15+ on offense and 8 or less on defense. Keeping it simple out there.
Thank you.